Mr. Williams, would you tell the jury how well you know Jeffrey Williams?
I know Jeffrey Williams great. I know him personally, yes.
How long have you known Mr. Williams?
About 15 years.
How did you come to know Mr. Williams?
When I started going to the park on Cleveland Avenue playing basketball.
Are you older than him, younger, or around the same age? As to Jeffrey Williams?
Yes.
Sustained.
And would you describe your relationship when you first met? Was it good? As good as it is now?
Me and Jeffrey always, once I met Jeffrey, we had a great relationship.
Did you hang out with Jeffrey Williams?
He was rapping at the time, so yeah, I used to go to a couple of the shows, support him.
Okay. Now you say 15 years ago. Around what year was that, if you recall?
Probably 2009.
Okay. What shows of his did you go to around 2009?
Nightclubs, teenager club, nightclubs.
Did you get to know his family as well?
Yes.
Have you been to Mr. Williams' house?
Yes.
How often would you say you visited him at his home?
A lot.
Okay. Do you know his mother?
Yes.
And do you know his father?
Yes.
Are you close with either one of them?
We have a good relationship.
Okay. How frequently do you talk to Mr. Williams' mother?
I ain't talked to her in a minute.
How frequently do you speak with Mr. Williams' father?
Not frequently.
Were you here at the courthouse yesterday?
Yes.
Did you speak with Mr. Williams' father yesterday?
Yes.
Okay. How long would you say you spoke with him?
I can't say.
Okay. Was it more than just a hi and bye?
No.
So you said hello, he said hello, and you all parted ways? You may answer.
Because you repeated.
Yes. You said it was no more than a hi and bye. So you said hello.
I never said that. You said that. I told you.
Thank you.
I told you that we had a conversation yesterday. I can't recall how long was the conversation.
Okay. So it went past hello. It was that you all stood and talked for a while.
Yes.
Okay. Did you all at any point discuss this case?
No.
All right. Did you come to know Dora and Dolly Greer through Defendant Williams, or did you learn of them some other way?
I learned through Mr. Williams.
All right. Is it fair to say you met them all, his whole family, around the same time?
Yes.
And your relationship with Dora and Dolly, are they the same as your relationship with Mr. Williams?
Why wouldn't it be though? Yes.
Thank you. Of all the people that I've just asked you about, who is it that you've known the longest?
I met them all about around the same time.
And of all the people that I just asked you about, is there any one that you are closer to than any other?
I'm close to all three of them.
Now, we talked about Quindarius Zachary, Demekion Garlington, Kenneth Copeland, Jeffrey Williams, Quintavious Greer, Shannon Stillwell, and Diamante Kendrick, as well as Dolly and Dora Greer. When you say all three, what do you mean?
You asked me about Dora, Dolly, and Jeffrey just now. You asked me. Now you talking about all of them. So
Thank
where
you
you
for
getting
correcting
at?
me. You're right. I'm asking you about all of the people that I've asked you about today. Of all of those people, who are you closest to?
I wouldn't say I'm closer than them. One of them, I have a great relationship with all of them.
Okay,
I wouldn't divide none of them, put them like that.
fair enough.
I feel the same way about one that I feel about the other.
All right. With respect to Mr. Marquavius Huey and Quamarvius Nichols, you said you know of them only, right?
Yes.
How did you learn of those two gentlemen?
Just seeing them around the city of Atlanta ain't but so big. We might bump into each other every now and then. Clubs.
Were there occasions where you would say you hung out with more than two of the gentlemen that I just named at a time?
Could you repeat that?
Did you ever hang out?
Yes. All right, I'm gonna need you to use your mic, okay, so I can even hear that you're making an objection.
Form of the question, which gentleman?
I would talking about-
Sustained, rephrase, please.
Yes. Of the gentlemen that are Shannon Stillwell, Diamante Kendrick, Rodelius Ryan, Kenneth Copeland, Demekion Garlington, Jeffrey Williams, Quintavious Greer, Marquavius Huey, Quindarius Zachary, Quamarvius Nichols, if I haven't said his name. Did you ever hang out with two or more of either of them?
What you mean by hang out? You can hang out many ways. So what
What are some of the ways that you would call hanging out to this jury?
I never hung out with Hurley. I never hung out with Ryan.
Okay.
Been to Jeffrey shows, me and Kendrick at the studio, places like that.
Okay. And have you ever hung out with two or more of the people in the courtroom today at a time, at the same time?
Yes.
Okay. Under what circumstances?
Video shoots, music videos, club.
Is it only at video shoots and music videos that you've hung out
I
with?
just said clubs.
And which two have you hung out with at the same time that are in the courtroom today?
What you said only two, right?
Which two or more that are in the courtroom today have you hung out with at one
Kendrick,
time?
Jeffrey, Stillwell.
Judge, I'm going to object to the relevance of whether you hung out with several people and ask for a curative instruction with regard to it's not illegal to hang out with anybody in the world.
All right, that's a speaking objection, and it is overruled.
Thank you. Since you asked my definition of hangout, would you please tell the jury what your definition of hangout is?
We didn't actually fully develop that, so I'm going to overrule that objection.
Would you please
Could you repeat it?
Yes. Would you please tell the jury what your definition of hangout is?
We hung out and had fun together, enjoying life.
Okay. Did you all ever work together?
Yes.
Doing what?
Like when we go on tour.
And when you say like when we go on tour, who is the we that you are referring to?
I've been on tour with all three of them.
All three being Mr. Kendrick?
Mr. Kendrick, William, and Stillwell.
Okay. And what were you doing while you were working on tour with Mr. Kendrick, Mr. Williams, and Mr. Stillwell?
For YSL, the record label, I was head of security at once upon a time.
Head of security?
Yes.
Did you receive a paycheck?
Yes.
And who signed that paycheck?
It didn't get signed. It got sent from the company YSL to our bank account.
Okay. Did you have employees working under you?
No, I only pick, like when we go to different states, I only pick the security guards. And if they weren't doing their job properly, I sent them home too.
Where did you pick the security guards from?
From whatever security company they had.
When you say from whatever security company they had, who is the they that you are referring to?
Whatever security company in that state we was in.
Okay.
I don't remember the company's names or none of that.
How long was it your job to pick security personnel for Mr. Stillwell, Mr. Kendrick, and Mr. Williams?
Overruled.
Your Honor, I don't recall the testimony being that he did security for Mr. Stillwell.
I
Right.
mean, he said he worked on tour with all of them. My recollection is that he worked on tour for all of them as head of security.
Well-
So, I mean, I don't know.
Can
we
Maybe
clarify or ask him to
flesh that
clarify?
out some more.
When you said that you, Mr. Kendrick, Mr. Stillwell, and Mr. Williams worked together, would you please tell the jury what that consisted of?
Well, I worked it for Mr. Jeffrey Williams, not Mr. Kendrick or Shannon Jackson.
And just to clarify, you mean Shannon Stillwell, who is also known as Shannon Jackson?
Yes.
So what were Mr. Kendrick and Mr. Stillwell doing while you were working security for Mr. Williams?
Kendrick's an artist,
Okay.
and Shannon used to be with us, but trying to become an upcoming artist.
Is it fair to say then that Mr. Kendrick was performing while you were?
Yeah, sometimes.
Okay. And Mr. Stillwell was doing what exactly while you were working?
He probably doing other things like selling merch for Jeffrey Williams, setting up the merch,
Now, when you say the merch, what is it that you're meaning?
like selling T-shirts, hats.
And were those T-shirts and hats merchandise with the name Jeffrey Williams on it or something else?
YSL.
So when Mr. Stillwell was on tour with you, Mr. Kendrick, and Mr. Williams, was that his only job to sell merch?
No, we all did different things. We probably like helped with the clothing. We all did different things. We all just supported Jeffrey in any way we could.
And is it fair to say you want the best for each of them?
I never want the worst for anybody on this earth.
And when you say you all supported Jeffrey in any way that you could, what are the ways that specifically you, Mr. Kendrick, and Mr. Stillwell supported Mr. Williams?
The record label. We supported the music.
How?
What you mean how?
Did you just testify that you all supported Mr. Williams in any way that you could?
Yes, by helping him get his clothes together, what he was gonna wear, help him sell his clothing for his business.
And those items of clothes, did they each have the name YSL on it or did they have something else?
He got different clothes.
Okay. What are some of the other names that would appear on his clothes?
He have what they call a spider.
Mm-hmm. Now, do you know, or did spider have any meaning to you for it to appear on Mr. Williams' clothes?
I didn't know the meaning of spider. I just seen the clothing.
You never talked about it with anybody?
No, I don't have them discussions.
When you say you don't have them discussions, what discussions are you talking
I
about?
don't have discussion about his clothing line and what the meaning of his clothing line.
Even though you're selling it?
Yes.
Did you ever hear any one of those three gentlemen talking about the clothing line or
No,
the meeting?
I just only know what YSL mean.
Where is it that you all sold the items of clothing with YSL and Spider on it?
Anywhere in the venue, wherever they had us to set up in the venue. Same way you got me sitting here, wherever they set up and tell us to set up at, we set up at.
All right. And who is it that would tell you where to sit up?
Whoever's over the venue.
Understood. Now, did you tell me how long you had been working as head of security for Defendant Williams?
I don't remember the exact time, but I can't tell you exact how many years, how long it was.
Do you remember the last time that you worked at a venue as head of security for Mr. Williams? The year, generally speaking.
I want to say 2019.
And what venue was that?
We went a lot of places. I don't remember. We went so many places. I don't remember exact everyone you trying to.
Did Mr. Williams give you access to places that you had not gone before?
I've been places without Mr. Williams.
I understand.
On my own.
Understood. My question, though, is did Mr. Williams give you access to any places that you had not gone before?
No.
And the last time being generally in 2019, do you remember what occasion that was that you worked at?
I don't remember where we went. We went so many places. We went to Utah. We went to so many places. It was unreal.
Did you work as Mr. Williams head of security in 2009?
No, I don't even think Mr. Williams was famous yet.
When did you start working as head of security?
I want to say, when was his first tour? The rodeo, was it 2015?
So I heard you reference, when was his first tour?
It was 2015.
Is that late 2015, mid or early 2015?
I don't recall. I don't know if it was the middle when it started. On that I remember, him and Travis Scott was on tour together.